Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the Diaspora panel where we discuss politics about Nigeria. I want to welcome here again today. I want to welcome from London, Mr. Ademola Disa. You are welcome, Mr. Disa.
Thank you. It's fine to be here.
I also want to welcome from America, Mr. Ola Digba. Mr. Digba, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And also from far away Canada, Mr. Lawal. You are welcome, Mr. Lawal.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and to all our viewers, let me first of all say that please subscribe to this channel. Subscription is free. You can subscribe by going to www.diasporapanel.com or you can go to youtube.com/diasporapanel. Today, we want to discuss APC's national convention that was held yesterday and how this will impact on the presidential race. And we all saw what happened after about 1.5 months of dilly-dallying of Governor Buni of Borno State, who was heading the what do you call the temporary leadership of the party. Yeah, and unfortunately, after push and push, something gave way, and there was the convention yesterday. We all followed it, and I'm going to start with you, Mr. Adedigba, because you are an APC. You used to be an APC member. I don't know whether you are still one. So you watched that convention. Where you are in America, you saw what happened. What do you make of it? What do you make of it? You can't hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Demola?
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, Shupo?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Lighton, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
So I said that
it was just breaking.
Okay. So I said, what do you make of that convention? Let me actually ask you straight. APC has been, touting this consensus option. Do you think what happened yesterday was consensus?
We should be careful about the lexicon register in our political balance in Nigeria. This consensus is unconstitutional. Why should you be picking out to defeat? I've not heard of consensus. I've heard. I was around. I was old enough. I was in secondary school in 1979. I knew how they did their convention. In the subsequent one, when Obasanjo was there, when Obasanjo was, I knew how they did their convention. Every subsequent ones, but all these consensus, what do you do about the agreed people? You've been doing this. All in all, you end up creating more problems than you want to solve. Because this idea of consensus, anybody that comes afterwards, they can say, okay, they did consensus, then let us do consensus now. Why should you be unpicking people? Is that democratic? Is that what we are talking about, democracy? Let everybody, the popular choice of the people, you just impose. That is imposition. You just impose people on people. Is that what we are doing since all this? I come to think of it. Look at the numbers of those people who are. It is those people who crashed. Was happened to APC. Senator Adamu, Chairman PDP, Kenny Namani, Deputy Chairman, Southwest PDP, Iyola Omichore, National Secretary PDP, Honorable Guy John, Vice Chairman, South PDP, Osita Medene, Vice Chairman, Southeast PDP. It only remains Goodluck Jonathan to come to the party so that they make up the So the PDP will just hijack the party. We are just waiting for Goodluck Jonathan. So when all the members in what's it called? All the PDP members, right? The heavyweight politicians in PDP, they were all voted, they were all nominated yesterday, right? They were picked on consensus. What are we talking about? Is that what democracy is about? People just came from nowhere, right? Then you impose them on the APC. What about those people who are there before? So it's just, I don't know. They create, and now, what about those guys who pick up forms? Okay, I want to contest for this position. They've galvanized the whole noose and cranny of Nigeria. Okay, I need your vote, I need your mandate, I want you to do this for me, I will do this for you, I will do this for you. So what is their fate? So the people's choice. It's your own choice now that you impose on the people. It is not done. That is not democracy.
Okay.
Thank you. Consensus is now in the dictionary of Nigeria.
Thank you.
Political party. So that is my take.
Thank you very much, Lighton. I'm going to go over to you, Demola. I'm sure you saw some snippets of what came out of that convention and all the participants, all the things that happened there. Generally, what is your impression?
Oh, thank you, Deji. I start from what Lighton was saying about consensus is not a Nigeria thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, because things change. Politics is not something that is static, and it's in the constitution. It's backed by law now. It's already legislated that consensus is part of the mode of selections in any electoral position in Nigeria. So there's nothing illegal about consensus. But even talking about consensus, the essence of even politics is for us to be, people can be disagree and they come back to agree. So it's disagree to agree. So either by election or by consensus or by selection, it's still a theory of disagree to agree. So consensus is not a bad thing. And if you look at how the convention went on yesterday, if not for consensus, there wouldn't have been sanity in that convention at all. Because if you look at the level of dichotomy in the convention and the number of electoral officers that need to be elected, it takes a lot of guts. If not by consensus, they will still be doing the election for the next 3 days. Understand? So, but what is convention? The party convention is to harmonize and unify the party, to have a good forum, for them to be able not only to select people within themselves, but also to be able to go in unity when they go out. And as we know in Nigeria, most of the even elections in Nigeria doesn't end up in that way. It ends up even creating more problems. So the consensus is not a bad thing as far as I'm concerned, but it's led to the level of understanding and cooperation among the people that are having consensus. Now, you touch something about the composition of the party, of the groups that make up APC now. Now, either you like it or not, APC would not have been in that position now if not for the faction of PDP that defected to the party in 2019. So that faction is also with CPN, ACN, or whatever, and all the harmonizing groups that make up the party today. So the PT faction was one of them. You mentioned a few of them that are, yes, certainly, they may not be at the beginning of the party, on the onset of creation of the party, but for the creation of the party in government, for the party to be in government, the PDP group are a good factor for bringing APC into government. So we need to recognize that. And I believe from my own perspective, yes, this is something that will kill PDP. Because the essence of the logic is for people that have influence in people that already in APC will be able to checkmate the activities of PDP, if not getting all their big ways into APC. Another story is about ideological questions. Are they people of the same bedfellow? What is their orientation and principles? Are they having equal manifestos? What are the basis of them? Are they really interested in what APC believe in? That is another story. So, but we have to see how things work on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Demola. Shupo, you're a very brilliant fellow. You know what consensus is. Exactly. The consensus of the APC. Is that what consensus is all about? Is that how consensus is done?
Let me just start by saying that one of the things I've always struggled with political parties in Nigeria is that issue of ideology.
Okay.
What do these parties stand? Because I mean, if you look at APC, PDP, any of these parties, when I ask myself, what makes one different from the other? And I think with this convention, for me personally, it's very hard to answer that question. If APC is truly a progressive party, that word progressive should mean something. And I think a lot of the things that they do should expose their values as a true progressive party. What we saw yesterday was the coronation of old men. Again, all of them, old men, who have been involved one way or another in governance in Nigeria, recirculating themselves. Where are the young people? How many women were actually elected, even using this consensus, into any credible, meaningful position or role within the party? So if you look at it from this is 2022. If you look at it from the gender perspective and also from, the age gap, the young, youthful brand of the party is still very much underrepresented. So as far as I'm concerned, it's still the old guy. That's one. Secondly, when you say a party is progressive, you expect the party to champion progressive ideas, of which a direct primary, in my opinion, will have been the way to go. Consensus, in my mind, is a lazy way of selecting candidates. When candidates come forward for direct primaries, each candidate has to come forward with a platform of what they intend to do and why they should be selected by party members, for any of the position. It gives people an opportunity, and it will give party members the opportunity to see what each candidate has to offer. The outcome of that process is more likely to select a candidate that has a platform, that has a plan, that knows what they want to do, and that party members agree with that vision of where that candidate wants to take the party or wants to take, the society. That's what a direct primary does. And when people go to direct primaries, when they lose, it's not easier for everybody to support the winner, because every candidate had an opportunity. They contested, they lost, and it's an indication where most or majority of the party members are leaning in terms of where they want the party to go. So even for unity, direct primaries are, in my opinion, is much better, because a candidate that loses will very much easily recognize that this is where the party wants to go. This is the candidate that the party most, supports, and there's no problem, because they had their opportunity, they laid their own case, and somebody else won. So, in my mind, I think what happened again is a very lazy way of just, selecting candidates. In my opinion, it does not engender unity, because aggrieved parties, some of those I've listened to, their grievances is not personal, is purely ideological. And to me, that is a far bigger issue to deal with, because now you have, wings within the party that may have, ideological differences. And then finally, I would say that the consensus way is not a good way to prepare candidates for the general election. I mean, for all of those that were selected, I mean, and I know this was mostly, the party leadership, but at that level, you expect the leader to have a vision of what they want to do for the party, how they want to help, how they want to prepare candidates for the general election, how they want to galvanize, the various arms and factions of society to support candidates, in the general election. We never had any of that. All we had were just backroom dealings and talks and all that. And as far as I'm concerned, the new chairman of the party, I don't know what his vision is for the party, what plan he has, and there is no opportunity to weigh that with what other contestants, will have provided. So, in my opinion, this is a decision that is the opposite of what a progressive party should stand for. And I think this party really needs to look inwards to actually figure out what it is that it stands for and what it should be doing in terms of laying a progressive groundwork for governance in Nigeria going forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to go over back to you, Olaitan. There's something that I want to discuss as we go forward. First of all, guys, I've just sent you all a link, which I want you to publish on your Facebook pages, on your social media pages. This is the link to this video. And what I want to say, Olaitan, is an incident happened yesterday, which relates to Otumba Iyolaomishore being. Sorry, can you please mute your video if you are not talking? Please mute your video if you are not talking. So, Demola, can you mute your video, please? So, now what happened was that he is contesting for the post of National Secretary, and there's another person who is also contesting for that post. Apparently, he was not consulted before a consensus candidate was put forward. He's not having it. That's lawyer Shitu. I think his name is Shitu.
Bayo Shitu.
Bayo Shitu, yeah. So it took the talks from former Ogun State Governor, Governor Shoba. Yeah, Shegun Shoba, to intervene. It took his intervention to resolve the issue amicably. Unfortunately, we didn't even see Asiwaju intervening by himself, but we see lawyer Shoba, Governor Shoba, who came in. And when you hear what engineer, Shitu said, the way he referred to, say, I'm not referring to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, but I'm referring to Asiwaju, that's Asiwaju Oshoba. You can imagine what is going through, how he has been treated, and he said that the position that he wanted has been given on a platter of gold to somebody else without him being consulted. And what I really want you to discuss is, when you talk about politics, you are talking about electoral value. Now, you know that there's an election coming up in Osun State. We know that Iyolaomishore holds some important votes in Ife.
Yes.
That is the balancing vote between PDP and APC. The last time it was that vote that took APC across the board. So now the people in the ACN, they are looking and say, if we don't give this man what he wants, if he doesn't play ball with us, we are going to lose this election. And on the other hand, Bayo Shitu, I don't think he really has any, in quote, political value to the party. I don't really think so. So now, looking at that scenario, what do you think played out at the convention?
Like I said earlier on, the party, the heavyweight party members, those who dictate the position, they will end up creating more problems than they want to solve. Ordinarily, you should have consulted all those people who pick form.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I want to contest for this vote. I want to contest for this vote. I want to contest for this vote. Since you don't allow them to go to the field, you don't allow them to marshal their points. That, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to do for us. This is how I want to, position the party in my own capacity, a little way or my capacity. So these are the things. But they don't say that. They don't allow them to say that. And they don't allow those people who want to contest. They don't inform them that, okay, you have to step down for this one, you have to step down for this. Not only Bayoshitu now, another guy is, I think he's from Igbo land. He came out, he said he's not going to step down for anybody. So at long last, you will create problems, more problems that you want to solve. The Nigeria ways of doing things is what we are talking about. Nigeria way of doing things is retrogressive. Why should there be any? Have you, I heard Demola saying it's not bad. In Britain, where you are they choosing people? Are they choosing congressmen? Are they choosing minister in consensus? Are they using consensus for them? No. All over the world, it's Nigeria. We have this innate, obnoxious way of doing things. And it's wrong. It doesn't speak well of us. Like in the national community, what would they be saying? Yesterday, anybody just pick up somebody, they don't have idea. We say we are progressive. The tenet of progressive must be shown to the outside world. Okay, you want to do this? Okay, how do you want to do it? Tell me the magic wand you want to use to transform the party. We keep activating PDP, and all majority of the PDP are now elected into the post. Right. The chairman, the vice chairman, the Southwest publicity secretary, the South, all these are the issues. It's problem. We are creating big problem for ourselves. Right. All those people now, you can't hold them accountable. You can't say, okay, this is what they say during the campaign. This is what they say they want to do for us. Nobody can say I didn't promise you anything. Did I promise you anything? They just put me there on a platter of gold. So what am I going to do? I can't do anything for you. So you can't pin me down that this is what I promised you. These are the issues. It's a lot of problems.
Okay. Lighton, let me pause you a little bit there. Let me go to Demola. Demola, we know that behind all these struggles for convention, let's do the convention, let's elect a new chairman. Behind everything that is being done is the nomination for the presidency. Who is going to pick the presidential ticket? That is the nitty gritty. That is what everything comes down to. So now, how will this convention shape that presidential primaries? Now we have only Omishore as the national secretary. Is it now a stooge of Bola Tinubu, or is he still a man of himself? And all the other people who are now, in the executive, in the APC's executive post, who are they working for? What do you think is going to happen? Because their next primary, the primary is about 2 months away now.
Yeah, I think 2023 just started now. Because this is what you can see the taste of the pudding now. One, there are two things that came out from that convention yesterday. The influence, the power that President Muhammadu Buhari have over the party is very, very strong and domineering. And it's now it's an indication that whoever we have to be the presidential candidate for APC, we have to be someone that President Muhammadu Buhari will agree with. Because if you look at all the consensus, especially those people that doesn't want to agree with the consensus and eventually have to be clamped down and accepted to step down, they are doing it out of respect for President Muhammadu Buhari. That is the general say you heard during the convention. So, which tells you that whoever is going to be the presidential nominee for APC, we have to be somebody that is have an agreement or have the sanction of President Muhammadu Buhari. The other part of it is, if you look at the speech of both the president and the vice president and some of the key people, they are saying money should not be a dominant factor for anybody that is contesting for the position in the party. And also that nobody should be enforced on the party. Now, this is three clear messages that goes out. Money will not be a factor, it will not be imposed, and it have to be have the sanctions of President Muhammadu Buhari. So, in all indication, I haven't seen the present group of people that are scouting for president nomination so far that are declared meeting those three criteria. If they are not thinking about their money, they are thinking about imposing themselves because of their ambition, or they have not declared or tell us if they have the sanction or approval or consent of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Okay, thank you, Lemala. Let me pause you there a little bit. I'm going to go over to Shupo. Shupo, the question I want to asking you, it's very, it's a little bit stretched. Now, as Demola just said, we have seen an overbearing president, a president who says, "This is my candidate. This is the person I want." Who calls the governors together and tell them to their face, "This is the man I want." Calls the National Assembly, "This is the person I want." Calls the party officials, "This is the one person I want you to support." So the governor now comes maybe tomorrow or the week after and say, "You guys, this is the person I want to to succeed me in office." Is that the way politics should be, and should that be allowed?
Capital no. Capital no. The party is a group of people. The president happens to be the leader at the moment. It should not be up to the leader of the party to choose who he wants. It's not his party. It's the people's party. See, we seem to have a very funny way of doing things in Nigeria. It is the people. I mean, this is the president who has actually talked about giving power back to the people. Why is he deciding who the national chairman is going to be? Why? What? I mean, he's over 80 years old, I believe.
It's not up to 80. It's not up to 80. It's not up to 80.
How old is he? Somebody 79.
I was 75. I was
75. Okay. At this stage, he should resign to the position of an elder statesman. He should encourage younger people to get involved in governance. He should, campaign for candidates. That's what he should be doing. Not picking who. You see, when we put a good framework in place, when we put a good system in place, the system will bring forth good candidates. That's what we should invest in. It is only when people have their own agenda that they then would begin to select who the person should be that should succeed them. Let the people decide. It's a party. He doesn't own the party. He happens to be the leader of the party today, but he does not own. It is not his party. It is the people's party. So the people should determine who their leader should be. And the issues that Nigeria has had to face in the last 5-10 years are a bit different from the issues it will face in the next couple of years. So again, if this is a progressive party, which I think is, for me, the core issue and the core question now, I expect to see more democratic processes being championed by the APC. I honestly don't care what people say in their speeches. I really don't. People can come on, on national TV and say all manner of kinds of things. What people do is more of an indication of what they actually believe. And that is why I am saying the APC, going the consensus route is not an indication that they are a true progressive party. And I think the party owes it to Nigerians to live up to the ideology that they claim to be. I think you're on mute.
So thank you very much, Shupo. Thank you very much. That's a very wonderful analysis that we earned from you. We don't know where Lighter is. I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions there, but we don't know where he is. So let me go over to you, Demola. I want to go straight into the meat of this conversation. How do you think that the new set of leaders for APC party, how will this affect the presidential, primaries? Who do you think this setup favors? Who do you think it favors?
Yeah. Just as I said, if you see, it's obvious that most of the people that are effectually elected or selected yesterday were mostly from Buhari's group. Because you have some dominant group. You have Tinubu group, Buhari group, and because especially we have what you call it. Let me put it this way: people from the CPC stroke PDP group, mostly dominated the positions yesterday.
Okay.
And that doesn't favor the Chief Ahmed Bola Tinubu. But this is why I said it depends. One thing I can assure you is, if it happened that as people are clamoring for Professor Yemi Osinbajo to come in, I think it's a good foundation for him to be able to win the platform for the ticket of the presidential. From all the indication, it seems this is a game plan for Yemi Osinbajo to have a good executive national working committee that will not be impeding his ambition.
Okay, thank you. Lighton, I'll just ask Demola there now the question, and I'm going to ask you exactly the same question. After yesterday now, the APC have a new set of leaders. And as you have described in your first opening statement about the people who have now dominated, most of them from the PDP and all that. But looking at the whole setup, look at the whole set of new leaders, who do you think it favors to clinch the presidential primaries? Is it Jonathan, who's coming back into the party in a few days? Is it Umahi? Is it Kalu? Is it Asiwaju Bola Tinubu? Is it PYO, who has not yet decided whether he wants to run or not? Who do you think? I'm looking at the setup. I'm thinking that a stage is being set up. Who is that stage set up for?
You don't need to be a seer or a clairvoyant to know that Buhari, another candidate, is President Osinbajo. Vice President Osinbajo.
Oh, okay.
So all the game plan is, since they are unanimously decided who should take what, So that is how they will do for the president and the any position again that are left. So don't be surprised. Without the backing of Buhari, Osinbajo would not have, decided, okay, I want to contest for election. I can't contest against Bola Tinubu, right? So the honor now lies on Bola Tinubu, right? To I don't want to spare my tongue, to support Osinbajo if eventually it's not chosen.
To be magnanimous.
If it's not chosen, he should support Osinbajo, being a nationalist leader, right? So it will be, it will enjoy. It will be happy that one of his boys, one of his lieutenants, so to say, became the president of the country. So no greater joy than see Osinbajo being the president in my lifetime. So individual differences is different, right? But the fact that Bola Tinubu have been not showing the ambition of becoming the president for years, and considering the age, but without the support of Tinubu, I doubt if Osinbajo can clinch the presidency again. If the presidency will not go to the north.
Okay.
Right? Because Bola Tinubu had the wherewithal. He has the political machinery. He has the people on ground. He has everything. Well, you don't just impose people, right? So they have to placate him. I don't know how they are going to do it. If they want to sideline him, they have to find one way or the other to placate Tinubu. Is a force to be reckoned with. It's a force in the Nigerian political development.
Thank you, Lighton.
Yes.
Shukwo, I'm going to continue from where Lighton stopped. So, if the president tomorrow says, "Okay, my candidate is PYO, and I want everyone to support PYO," will you consider that as beneficial dictatorship?
I wouldn't go as far as dictatorship, but I would say it's purely undemocratic. I happen to like PYO as a candidate. As a matter of fact, something interesting happened in the PDP this past week. Peter Obi declared for presidency, that he was going to run for the presidency. And he was invited by Atiku Abubakar, who chose him as his vice president, I think, when he ran. And he attended, wished him well. But the two of them are going to provide PDP members the vision of what they intend to accomplish if they are given the party's ticket. That is the way democracy should be run. The two of them are friends. Two of them, believe that they are good candidates. If you believe that you are a true candidate, that you have the wherewithal, I don't see why you should be afraid to test it at the ballot. That is what this is all should be about. So, do I like PYO? I believe he will be a good candidate and he will be a great president. Do I think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be a good president? I don't. But again, I want the two of them to come forward, to bring forth, their agenda, and let the people decide. Let party members decide.
Yeah, that is how it should be done.
This is the way it should be. It will prepare the two candidates. Whoever emerges as the winner, from among the group of candidates, will be ready and better tested to actually go into the general election. That's one. And then secondly, whoever loses, there is no hanky-panky. It was clear. You provided the vision of where you want to take Nigeria, and party members selected another candidate.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to shake somebody else's hand and to support them in the general election. But if you are still choosing by consensus, there will be aggrieved people who will find it very difficult to support the anointed candidate.
Thank you, Shukpa. Okay, Demola, I'm going to continue from where Shukpa stopped. For those of us who wants to see a PYO presidency, what do you think that we should be doing now to make sure that it succeeds? To pick up the you are muted, please unmute yourself to make sure that it pick up that presidential primary ticket. What should we be doing now? What should we be doing?
Um, is it, uh, Super have touched a very good vital area about democracy, and also the fact of working and making sure that the party members, especially the people's view, are well recognized in selection of any party leader. And in as much as I agree totally, but I also know what election is in Nigeria, especially with the party conventions. It's not necessarily the wish of the people, but the wish of the money banks. And what I can realize from the last election was, well, from the consensus is give more room for people that doesn't have money to have voice and to be able also to negotiate, because you can negotiate with people that all these money bags, the convention that usually make for the money bags, they will buy every delegate. Before you know it, it's no more an election. It's even worse than consensus. It's just imposition of their monetary influence. So each aspect of it has its own advantage and disadvantages. But presently, the work for uh, Professor Yemi Ashubajo is not something that
It's supporters, yeah, supporters.
is ongoing, and it has nothing to do with the convention, irrespective of whatever the form of selection will be, either consensus or.
Hold on. You have to remember what Lighton said that if you put them side by side, PYO and BAT, Lighton is saying that it is not likely that PYO will triumph over BAT. So
Yeah, it depends what the criteria we are using is the money bag and the money bag itself,
okay,
not necessarily because uh, Professor Shibajo is a byproduct of the work or of collaboration with uh, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
yeah,
Understand? And also go the other way as well, because what also Bola Ahmed Tinubu is today is also have some contribution from
the
the support
PYO.
that Professor Yoshibajo has also given him. So it's not something. But what you need to know is presidential at this level is beyond individual. It's belong to group now. It depends on the group where you be. It's where whether the influence of the group. Bola Tinubu cannot do it alone, irrespective of whatever the influence he has in the party. He has to form a group. So also is Professor Shibajo. The group behind Osibajo is what will determine how equal or how powerful he is to be able to absorb or got the nomination for the presidency. So it's the group that is behind him or supporting him or that are with him that will determine that. So it's not, it can go toe to toe, not only with the general masses that are within, but also with people of progressive mind, which are very much in abundance in APC.
Okay, let me pause you because of our time. Lighton, I'm going to ask you a very, very daunting question since you are the Mr. Politics here. So, we saw what happened in 1989. I think 1989 or 1999 at Dear Vance Club in Ibadan.
Okay.
Yeah, when the Afenifere they were looking for a candidate, and Bolagi was
Yeah.
pushing himself forward, and also Olufalaye, Chief
Okay.
Olufalaye was also putting
Okay.
himself forward. The Yoruba group met and chose somebody to put
Yes.
him forward. Now, do you not think that because now in the presidency in the not in the APC, if you look at their body language from the speeches made by all the different actors, El Rufai and every other person, it looks, even the president, it looks like the presidency has been zoned to the southwest. It looks very much like it. Now, should we not think that because we are now hearing BAT has said he wants to run, PYO is going to run, with Ekiti State Governor is going to run. People are mentioning Raji Fashola's name.
No, Fashola has debunked it that he wants to run in his own bedroom.
Okay. Okay. But do you not think it's very good for all the powers in the southwest to come together, maybe with all the traditional rulers, put them together and put somebody forward? What do you think?
That is Deji. You've just hit the nail at the head. On the head, sorry. Well, the Yoruba said that they should not cross their they should not fold their arms at this material time. They should just come together, call all the gladiators. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has a structure on the ground. He has, even in the north, he has a follower, he has the supporters. Right? In the west, he has majority of the governors. So where is PYO structure? Except those people who are saying, okay, the educated, majority of these educated, they will not come out on the voting date, on the day of election. And eventually, if we go back to the north, they will win the election and nothing will happen. If they don't settle it now, I can remember Atiku. If Atiku had admitted, had sanctioned as pick Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the vice president, they would have won the election. They would have defeated Buhari. Can you believe these guys? But they didn't go. So this Bola Ahmed Tinubu he has the wherewithal. He has the brain, he has the intelligence, he has everything, right? To thwart any effort, right? If they don't pick him, right? They should placate him. Like Baba Niel, you are a elder state man, right? Behave like an elder state man as you are trying to be. Wait for, step aside for your boy to contest. But you want to disgrace him and you think he will support you, you just forget it. And don't forget, there is a caveat, right? I discover the Northerners. They are very witty, they are eloquent, and they know what they are doing. They are better than us. Mentally, they calculate. No, they are better in the sense that they permutate. They know what is going on. But we are blind to whatever cause we believe in. But these people, I remember Buhari daughter wedding. Atiku was the father of the day. Right? Don't you smear something there. Atiku and this guy can come together, and Atiku and Buhari can come together, and they will put another outside there. I know there will be pressure on Buhari that you can't give this to the Southern now. I know there will be pressure on him. Like the pressure was on Babangida then not to give anybody any Southerner power. Right? Forgetting that without Tinubu, Buhari will not be any president. Right? So what I'm saying invariably is we need to tread with caution with this affair, within Osinbajo, Tinubu, and all this stuff. We need to tread with caution. They should come together. Okay. This is the time. This is the high time. The elders in Yoruba land, the chief, the traditional ruler, the imam, and all these people, they should come together and sit them down. Okay, you want to come together. Because, like you said, the issue of the rover will just repeat itself again.
Okay.
Like when Bola was, yes.
Thank you, Lighton. Shupon. I'm going to just ask you the same question in a different way. So we know that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is running for election. He said it's his lifetime ambition. Majority of us are rooting for PYO because we believe that he's a better candidate. He has more better things to bring to the table. But the problem we have now is, don't you think that it will be a disaster if PYO comes out to contest while BAT is still contesting, and then we have the two of them at variance in the south? What do you think should be done?
Well, there's only one thing I think, and it's called democracy. And in a democracy, candidates stand for elections and candidates are elected. And I think if we keep circling back to this old, Nigerian way of doing things, and if we don't do something dramatic, we will never ever have a true democracy, ever, in Nigeria. Why should kings and obas be selecting who the candidate should be? For all of the times that they've been selecting, what has been the outcome of all of their selections? I mean, let us test processes and let us look at it based on the outcomes. What has all of those scheming, those backroom selection of consensus, what has it done?
Okay, let me just ask you, Shuko. The problem we have with democracy in Nigeria is that there's no true democracy, because at the end of the day, even when you have a direct election, the politicians go and corrupt the voters and they get their way. I saw the last election in Ekiti State where people were voting. When they vote, they go and show their voting slip. They go and show it to the former governor. Say, see who I voted for before they go.
They will now collect their money.
So the problem now is we are thinking that we know the person who is good. We know the person that we want. If we come together and say, okay, listen, you guys, that's what they did in D. Rovans, although they eventually chose Odufalai, who's not popular, and then there was a problem. But I think we are thinking that if the entire Yoruba people come together, they will be able to bring somebody out who everybody. I mean, if they are the true leaders of the society, and they are listening to the people in the society, they know what the people are saying, they will be able to put out the person that everybody wants.
That's an assumption. That's a massive assumption.
Okay.
And the reality is, when these leaders come together, they don't come together to decide what is in the best interest of the people. They come together to decide what is in the best interest of their own selves. That's the outcome of what we've seen. Let the people decide. If a candidate is so popular that, and you know what? This is democracy. If any voter in the electorate is willing to collect 4,000 naira, sell their votes, and remain in poverty, then that's okay. That's their choice. Let the people decide. This is where I stand. If we do not push the limits, we will never ever ever have true democracy. We will never ever have a shot at practicing what true democracy would be. Let the people decide. These obas and kings have been scheming forever. For me, I have not seen a good outcome of all of that. When you bring people together, the assumption is always that they will negotiate and make decisions that are in the interest of their people. What I have seen is leaders making decisions that are in their own best interests.
Thank you very much, Shupa. So we have to go now. So I'm just going to give you guys 1 minute each to say your social media declaration for today. And before I do that, let me again advise our viewers, please, we want you to subscribe to this channel. The reason is that each time we make a new video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. And if you want to subscribe, please go to www.diasporapanel.com or youtube.com/diasporapanel. If you want to send us an email, please send your email to info@diasporapanel.com. I'm going to pick your new first, Demola. In 1 minute, I want you to advise the APC how they should go about selecting their presidential candidate. You are muted. You're muted.
If APC, if they listen at all, because
They're listening to you now.
I know they have their own their ways of doing their own thing, and if their own thing is another, it goes the people's way is another thing. But the essence of democracy is for people to be heard, to be seen, to be heard, and for the voice of the people to prevail, of the majority of the people to prevail, so that it will be a choice of the people for the people and by the people. So in essence, so if they need to give an open hand for as many people to come in and for them to look and vet them and see who is best interest with best interest the party, the country, and also the generation to come. Money or self-interest or sectional interest should not be a paramount way of choosing a president for Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Demola. And Lighton, what's your social media declaration for today?
Yeah, my social media declaration is all what we are doing. Is it fair to all that concerns? Is it just? So once we can answer that satisfactorily, then Nigeria will be in a better place. All the gladiators, they know what is best for themselves. They know what is best for the country. Let us offer the best for the country. Let us, jettison our self-pride, our self-aggrandizement. That, okay, we want to be this is what we want to become, this is what we want to become. But think how we can make Nigeria greater than how we met her. Thanks for the day.
Thank you very much. And Shukpa, what's your social media declaration for today?
Well, my social media declaration is that the APC should probably consider dropping the word progressive from their party name, because this recent convention has actually shown the true colors of the party. People are watching, and I'm hoping that in the next go round, when they begin to select candidates that will run in the general election, they will truly live up to expectations.
Okay, thank you all. And for me, I just want to commend His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for that special, wonderful convention that has held. I want to say you did very well. You show maturity by pushing forward candidate that you think will be able to move the party forward. And I want to say that, Mr. President, the onus is on you to make sure that Nigeria gets the next president of Nigeria is the right person, the person that you trust, the person who is very close, one heartbeat away from that presidency. That's the person we want, and that's who we want you to support. Thank you, and God bless you all.